But yeah, killed like 8 scavs with the Mosin and almost got a player with the Mosin too. Yeah, I completed the 5 scav kill thing, which is pretty rad. But we could, if you guys want, we'll play more after the launch or something. I don't know. We'll go from there. But I hope you enjoyed that. That's fun. It's fun playing with the white because, you know, I actually have guns that are actually on equal footing. So like I can shoot people in the face with a Keter and it's not a big deal. They'll die. Like you probably couldn't do that yesterday. I did kill a PMC. I one-shotted him in the face, Seth. He missed with whatever. I think he had a double barrel. I didn't have time to loot him because I went to loot him and his buddy shot me in the back. So yeah, Seth. Dude, it was money, dude. You just missed it. Like the guy shot at me and I kneeled down for a second. I didn't move, and then I waited like 15 seconds and went up and just went. One right with the Keter right through his forehead. That's the kind of way that's the way I like playing. I don't like this. I hope I hit something. I hate playing games like that. I really don't like it. If anybody's a Counter-Strike player, I was an opper in Counter-Strike for a very long time. Like semi-pro, like some Kenny S stuff. I like taking a single shot. That's all I need. Hit him right in the face. The reason why I like doing that and the reason why it works really well in Tarkov, at least for me, well, if I don't get just wrecked by like a level 40 or something, the reason why I like playing this way is because it forces you to think. You really have to think about the shot that you're going to take because you have a bolt action rifle. If you miss, that's it. So if you guys watched that round that I played with Scavs, I was waiting to take the headshot. I always would wait a second and then get the headshot, you know? I don't like just I hope I hit something. I hate it. I hate people that play that way. Like, I mean, I don't hate people that play that way. I don't really care, to be honest. But I would never play that way. If somebody else wants to play that way, that's fine, I suppose. You know. I don't like playing like that. It's not fun. I like the challenge because it's me. I like the challenge of taking out one shot. One shot is all you need. Yeah, spray and pray. Yeah, I mean, there's like suppressing fire and stuff, Blueland. But yeah, no one that sprays in this game is suppressing fire. Let's be real. SES-22 is SES-22 is a series of 6 SES satellites as part of an FCC incentive to clear the C-band spectrum in preps for 5G. If SES and Intelsat can clear spectrum by December 2023, they'll get billions, like 68 in incentive money from the FCC. Wow. Yeah, Blue. Nobody's there to suppress fire. Even though you could pretty much do that in this game, you can suppress people in this game if you want to. If you were playing with a buddy and you guys really knew what you were doing, like yeah, it totally could be done. That would be really tough to do in Tarkov, though. But it could be done, yeah. So we're just waiting here for SES-22 coverage to start. And then maybe on the other side of that, we'll play more Tarkov. But yeah, that's how I like playing. I like lone wolfing it and just... Like, I even did it with the Keter there for a second, which was pretty cool. That made me pretty happy. I can't believe it worked. I was lining up for a second shot. And I noticed I saw him drop, and I'm like, all right, okay. I used to practice crouch, sidestep, stand, sidestep, crouch. Oh yeah, the dude. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, G-Nack, you know I'm surgical with this thing, Jake. You know I'm surgical with it, man. All right, so we're waiting on SpaceX right now. Yeah, JDG, we closed, dude. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Thank you. I did it while suffering from COVID. Stage 2 RP1 load is complete. Yep. Niv, congrats. Huge step. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Discovery, go and
To celebrate, I busted out my spacecraft. Hey, Shadows, 6 months. More subbage. Thanks, man.
Discovery, go
Canada Addy, 7-month resub. Oh, thanks there, bud. Oh, I really appreciate y'all, throwing some of your subs that way down from, the Great North up there. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So you're going to have a huge, legit stream room? You could say that. Thanks, Seth. Right on, man.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Junek, 18-monther. Thanks, dude. When do you move? In about a month. I gave to sweeten the pot because real estate right now sucks. Trying to find something. We gave them the month of July. The sellers the month of July for free so they can move. Bark, well, I've been watching for years. Really proud to see you taking the step. Wish you all the best. Thanks, Bark. Here is some video waiting for the SpaceX stream. What is this? This is a pottery wheel. Why would I want to watch this? See title. SpaceX's cast is starting. BBC interlude film. I'm not sure. All right. New SpaceX jams. Oh, house, nice. I got married on the 24th and ordered a Model Y yesterday. Congratulations, Scrobe. Congratulations on marriage, and then the Model Y. Hell yeah, man. Congrats on the new house, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Grove, I'm gonna have to celebrate with this, dude. You know your boy has this, right? We're gonna have to celebrate. Get your Vesper balls out and celebrate with me. You got a new house a couple months ago? Right on, man. It's cool. It's crazy. Yeah, how does your boy have it? Don't know. Vespa balls are awesome. I saved them for a very special occasion. Hey Alex, you're just in time. You've been lurking in Norway? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I don't know what you. I've only been off this continent once, and that's to Japan. No, a viewer in Norway in where was it, Crow? Tromsø, I think. I think that's where he is. Yeah, he sent me a care package a little while back. I just hold on to him. Yeah. No, Tromsø is where the launch site is, I think. I think they were up that way, if I'm remembering right. They were that far up there. Yeah, they were made by Ruaug Creeper. Yeah, Swiss. I think Tromsø is where the launch site is, dude. It's not far away from the launch site? Yeah, right on, right on. I like the new SpaceX jams, man. Yeah, Yurovich, yeah. I think that's where the guy that sent it to me is. I think. I'd have to go look. Tower segment 3 was stacked this morning too. What does SES mean? SES is the company. Feeling okay? Who's no. Not really, but I'm putting on a brave face, man. You know, like that time, like that couple of days after you're like really sick, when you're just like kind of getting better, but you're still, I'm like super exhausted, dude. You look happy today? Thanks. But yeah, I'm really exhausted. It's been a crazy couple of days. They were at 29 centigrade today, yo. That's pretty warm, dude. Here, I'll show you what it is here in my room right now. 26C, 36 humidity. It's not bad. It's pretty comfortable in here. All right.
Base launch checkpoint countdown net. Pad is clear.
10,
Here we go.
9, 8,
Launch auto sequence has
7,
started.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go for launch.
Hopefully we see more of that soon. And that. And that.
Stage separation confirmed. Dragon, separation confirmed. Stage 1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed. And Falcon 9 has landed.
Good afternoon. My name is Jesse Anderson, and I'm joining you from SpaceX headquarters
Jesse?
in Hawthorne, California. I'll be your host as we follow Falcon 9 taking the SES-22 satellite to its intended orbit in space from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station Launch Complex
Thanks, Ordon.
40.
Appreciate it,
Today's
man.
launch will mark SpaceX's 27th launch of the year and 90th overall
Sorry,
launch
Loco.
from Pad 40. This launch also marks SpaceX's 6th SES launch, most recently having launched SES-12 in 2018.
I remember that.
SES-22 will deliver TV and radio services in addition to key data transmission services to millions of Americans across the U.S. And despite the global pandemic, the SES-22 satellite was delivered in only 22 months. Now, currently, SES-22 is safely enclosed in the payload fairing at the very top of the rocket, and that is what you are seeing on your screen. This is a live view of our Falcon 9 vehicle. Now, as I mentioned, at the very
I
top,
think
we
they'll
have
get it
the
back to
payload
you.
fairing, which is about 40 feet tall and 17 feet in diameter.
Doesn't look too bad to you, man.
To put that size into perspective, an average fire truck is about 40 feet long and 12 feet wide, so a fire truck would fit comfortably inside of our payload fairing.
Comfortably.
The fairing's job is to
Comfortable
protect the
fire
payload
trucks.
from aerothermal loads, heating, and contamination during ascent. And once we reach the vacuum of space, we will jettison the fairing as the second stage will continue on its journey to orbit. Now, below the payload fairing is the second stage, which is responsible for taking the SES-22 satellite to its correct drop-off orbit in space. Not only does SpaceX's second stage look similar to the first stage, which is the
No.
larger stage below
No,
it,
Trojan, no.
it also has the same diameter, uses the same metal in the
Those-
tanks,
it's
same
a electrical
computers, same
substation.
propellant, and nearly the same engine. This allows us to use similar tooling, design, and systems to essentially build two rockets that are more reliable. The first and second stages are connected by the inner stage, which has pneumatic pushers that allow stage separation during flight. The inner stage also houses the 10th engine connected to the second stage, called the Merlin vacuum engine, or what you'll hear us call the MVAC engine. The bottom two-thirds of the vehicle is the first stage and is the primary part of the rocket that gets reused multiple times. On the bottom of the first stage are 9 Merlin M1D engines that accelerate the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere and into various orbits in space. Now, the first stage and both the fairing halves are flying for the second time on this mission. We will be attempting to recover these rocket parts for a second time today using our drone ship, a shortfall of Gravitas, which
Son.
is what you are seeing on your screen. And for the recovery of the fairing halves, we will be using our recovery ship, Doug.
Doug?
Now, liftoff is currently set for 5:04 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's learn a little bit more about our customer and the mission.
Get ready as SES-22 embarks on its journey to space on a SpaceX rocket to deliver TV and radio experiences as well as data transmission services to millions of Americans in the U.S. But its mission doesn't end there. SES-22 is also part of SES's program to complete the FCC's plan to rapidly clear C-band spectrum, with the goal of making room for 5G-enabled services in the U.S.
Gotcha, Thomas. Circular.
So it was
bill.
becoming clear 4 or 5 years ago that for 5G deployment across the US, you had to get access to mid-band spectrum and plentiful amounts of mid-band spectrum. And in the US, C-band was the most appropriate, but it was full of services that we were delivering for our broadcast customers. C-band broadcast network that existed for 40 years, working with them to reprioritize, move to the higher parts of the frequency, and free up the whole of the 300 megahertz of C-band spectrum for the mobile operators. And these satellite launches help us to reprioritize the use of spectrum in the US in favor of 5G services, which I think is incredibly strategic and also economically important in the US.
Since 2020, SES has been working tirelessly to move its existing U.S. customers into a smaller portion of the C-band. Opening up part of the C-band will help wireless operators to quickly deploy 5G networks across the continental U.S., bringing ultra-fast services to consumers and businesses.
So this launch that's happening right now is critical. We've already cleared about a third of the spectrum in the most important parts of the US by working with our customers to reorientate their networks. But this launch and the other two that will follow are the ones that will allow us to clear all of the spectrum permanently and, most importantly, protect all of the broadcast services with high-performance filters that we're installing across the US following this launch. So could not be more important, and we could not be more excited about this upcoming launch.
It took satellite manufacturer Thales Alenia Space only 22 months to build SES-22 before the spacecraft was shipped to the launch site. When launched, SES-22 will be positioned at 135 degrees west and will provide broadcast and connectivity services to millions of Americans starting in early August 2022. To clear C-band spectrum while maintaining uninterrupted services, SES will be launching 4 more C-band satellites in the next few months. SES is on track to meet the FCC's accelerated C-band clearing deadline of end 2023, proudly enabling the next wave of 5G-led innovation in the United States.
And they also make a crap ton of money if they do. Violet, I have a question. I've been watching the Boca Chica, the Mega Bay construction. What are the supports that stick out? Well, the inside of the building's hollow, Violet, so you got to put the support structure on the outside. The inside's hollow because they build rockets in there. Those are called flying buttresses, dude.
2013 with SES-8. This mission also happened to be SpaceX's first mission to a super synchronous transfer orbit. Now, most notably, SES was also the very first customer to fly on a reused booster. SpaceX launched SES-10 back in March of 2017 using a booster that previously supported a Dragon cargo resupply mission.
Stage 1 RP-1 load complete.
Now, just 5 years later, SpaceX has reflown Falcon rockets 102 times. It is an incredible progression, and we greatly appreciate SES's support over the years in these efforts. Now, as far as the mission to space, in order to get SES-22 and any payload into orbit, the rocket has to not only go up really fast, it also has to go sideways. So as we ascend, we tilt the engines, and the technical term for that is called gimbaling, and that turns the rocket horizontally. Now, we're still going up, but we are also heading horizontally away from the launch pad, and that's what we call a gravity turn. The rocket typically needs to go 17,500 miles per hour horizontally in order to avoid being pulled back down to Earth and get into orbit. Now, to help demonstrate this concept, here is an image firing a cannon from a really high mountain. The cannonball will arc, and then gravity will pull it back down to Earth. And as you increase the power, the cannonball will arc and land further and further away. Now, eventually, if you could continue to increase the power, the cannonball will be going so fast that it ends up in free fall around the Earth. Now, gravity is still pulling it back down to Earth, but it's going so fast that it never hits the ground.
Pressurizing for strong back retract.
What if you shoot and it comes back and hits you in the back of the head?
Which constantly misses the Earth is called an orbit. So when we get to liftoff today, watch orientation of the Falcon 9 vehicle. You'll see that we go straight up until about T plus 10 seconds, at which point we will begin that shift in orientation so Falcon 9 can go sideways really fast. So be sure to keep an eye out in just a few minutes.
T minus 4 minutes 20 seconds.
Strong back retract.
There you go, Tech. Yeah,
and as you can see on your screen, there are clamp arms opening up. That is connected to the transporter erector, which we will begin to retract away from the vehicle once that clamp arms are done opening.
This is the Cape Victory.
I will use the transporter erector to roll the vehicle out to the pad and raise it to its vertical launch position. And it looks very slow and slight, but it looks like the clamp arms are now open and the transporter erector is retracting just slightly away from the vehicle on your screen. Transporter erector also routes vehicles' fluids, power, and telemetry umbilicals from the ground systems to the rocket and satellites until Falcon 9 goes on internal power and clears the pad. Now we are coming up on the next event, which will be LOX load complete on the first stage. That happens around the T minus 3 minute mark. Second stage.
Stage 1 LOX load complete.
There's that call out that LOX load is complete on the first stage. Second stage will complete around the T minus 2 minute mark, just about a minute away from now. And so far, weather is green. We are about 60% favorable for liftoff at T0 today. The range is also green for launch. The vehicle and payload continue to be healthy, and if for some reason we are not able to launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at the same time.
$150 seconds out.
Now again, we are coming up on completion of propellant loading of the Falcon 9 vehicle. Second stage is coming up here at around the T minus 2 minute mark for LOX load completion.
Okay, SES-22, T minus 120 seconds. Bugs.
Discovery.
There he is. 41-month resub. Thanks.
Stage 2 LOX load complete.
Great news.
Thanks,
propellant loading is now completed on Falcon 9.
I have the nastiest post-nasal drip
Next
right
event
now.
we should hear is Falcon 9 in startup, and that'll be when the flight computers take over the vehicle.
Gas launch closeouts.
And now that we finished prop loading, we are venting out the liquid oxygen lines on that transporter erector.
Gotta get the fuel
and you
out.
can kind of see that venting there on your screen as you see more of those white clouds around the vehicle.
Nah, Schwudny.
At the T minus 1 minute mark, Falcon 9 will go into startup.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
And Greg
inside of a minute.
The flight computers have now taken over the launch countdown. Now just waiting the final call from the launch director.
Commercial, Ilya. $30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Stand by for the call from LD.
Launch director, we are go for launch.
There we go.
Great news. All systems go for launch. Let's watch as Falcon 9 takes the SES-22 satellite into orbit.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9,
8, 7, 6,
Sound suppressor is on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff.
Send it!
M1D chamber pressure normal. Touching downrange.
Plus 20. Separation looked good there, guys. And everything looked just fine. Ooh, onboard. Vehicles rolling for downrange pitch. Should hear the call for that here in a moment. It is a big satellite.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from pad 40 carrying the SES-22 satellite.
3 nominal.
Where's it going?
And we have throttled down the engines.
It's going up. Duh.
This is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees, and that should be coming up in about 10 seconds or so.
It's going up. Hey, where do those stairs go? They go up. How far up? Well, this is Geo, so 23,500 miles that way.
And great
Sorry,
news, the vehicle is now through the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures.
I couldn't help it.
So with that, we will have 3 events happening back to back. That will be MECO, stage separation, and SES-1. MECO stands for main engine cutoff, and that's where all 9 of the M1D engines shut down and slow the vehicle down in preparation for the next event, which is stage separation.
And back chill.
And stage separation is exactly what it sounds like. That's where the first and second stage separate from each other.
To the moon, Alan.
First
One of
stage
these
will start to
days.
make its way back down to Earth, and again, we will be attempting to land on our drone ship a shortfall of gravitas today. And during that time, stage 2 will continue on its journey with the third event, SES-1, or second stage engine start 1. That's where the single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will light up, and it will propel the second stage along with the SES-22 payload to orbit.
I'm gonna throw up.
Now, in addition to these 3 major events, the fairing halves will separate about a minute after SES-1, so keep an eye out for that as well.
See how it made the adjustment? And we're looking up the business end of the second stage here.
MECO.
There's engine cutoff.
Discovery.
Stage separation.
Yeah! I gotta play it.
And back ignition.
Didn't make them. Hope it wasn't good enough. Okay, stiffening ring
And
separation
some
was
incredible
good.
views there on your screen. We were able to see MECO, stage separation, and on your right-hand screen, you could see that.
One more, yeah, just for good luck.
Beginning to light up and glow that red color there. First stage on your left-hand screen, those grid fins are deploying. That is what helps guide the vehicle back down to the landing zone. And we do have fairing deploy coming up here in just under 10 seconds.
It was from a sounding rocket launch yesterday. Fairings. Note that the fairing has the insulators on it.
Separation confirmed.
Perfect.
And there you just saw on your screen fairing deploy, and you can see in your right-hand screen the fairing, one of the fairing halves falling back down to Earth. Really cool view. Again, we will be attempting to recover the fairing halves with our recovery ship, Doug, today.
Doug?
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
And just past T+4 minutes into launch today. In order to complete today's landing of the first stage, it will have a couple more burns to go.
Recovery ship
The next one will be the entry
Bob and
burn.
Doug.
That's where 3 of the 9 M1D engines reignite.
They changed the name of Go Searcher and Go Navigator to Megan and Shannon. Megan, Shannon. They're named after astronauts.
It'll last about 25 seconds.
The drone ships still have Just Read the Instructions, Of Course I Still Love You, which is on the west coast, and A Shortfall of Gravitas. Those are the 3 drone ships. There's 2 on the east coast, 1 on the west coast.
First stage will be the landing burn. That is just a single engine burn. It's the Center E9 engine. Lights up just a few seconds
think
before
they do it if the customer wants
touching
them to,
down
usually.
on the landing zone.
your
And
favorite rocket?
these M1D engines have
Space
about
transportation
190,000 pounds of thrust. So just one single engine reigniting for
I don't
about
think
20, 30
so,
seconds
no.
helps to slow the vehicle down just rapidly enough to touch down on the landing zone.
Oh, dude, they're looking up out of the first stage here on this.
Some really cool views
Look at
on
that
your screen.
shot on the
Again,
left.
on the left-hand side, what you're seeing is a view from the first stage vehicle as it's making its way back down to Earth. Your right-hand screen is a view on the second stage looking at our MVAC engine.
All right. Pale blue dot.
We're roughly
Indeed.
30 seconds away from the entry
Indeed.
burn on the first stage.
So the first stage is, I mean, the keen-eyed will notice that first stage is a good way up there, about 80 kilometers up. First stage telemetry is right behind me. Second stage is over there. That's a long way. We are going to hit some re-entry heating here with the first stage, but don't worry. The first stage has a thermal protection system on it. What is the thermal protection system? Well, you're about to see it turn on right about now.
Stage 1, entry burn.
There you go. Supersonic retro.
And as you can see on your left hand,
So Falcon 9's first stage doesn't just slow the booster down, even though that is what it's doing. It actually is pushing the re-entry heating out of the way. It uses the rocket engines to push the plasma away from the rocket. That's how it punches through the atmosphere. And that's why Falcon 9's first stage doesn't really need a heat shield. Don't get me wrong. There's still thermal protection elements down on the bottom of the vehicle because it does get hot down there because there's those, what are they called? Rocket engines. Those tend to be a little bit hot. Yeah, they get a little warm. Just a little bit. Just a little warm. So there is thermal protection down there. But Falcon 9 uses its first stage and it fires the engine to push the plasma out of the way. It's called supersonic retropropulsion. It's my favorite thing in the world. We're not fighting fire with fire. We are fighting plasma with fire. Yeah, that's pretty neat. And we got a first stage signal break. Oh, it's back.
ignite that last engine for the touchdown just a few seconds before landing.
All right.
Stage 2 is the thermal guidance.
Now it's going to start getting down into the lower parts of the atmosphere. The lower, denser parts of the atmosphere are enough to decelerate the booster. Check this out. Even though the booster is falling right now, it's falling out of the sky, it's still slowing down. Isn't that nuts? It's moving so fast that it's compressing the air and making insane amounts of drag.
On that second stage.
Look at it.
Just a few
Oh,
seconds
that's
before the
cool.
landing burn beginning.
Now what's going on there is you're seeing air shifting pressure really, really fast. That's what that's doing. You saw it for a second there.
Stage 1, landing burn, startup.
MVAC shutdown.
Because when the air hits the grid fin,
There we had
it
both of
changes
those
pressure.
events. Seco 1
I mean, amongst
and
other things,
the
there's a bunch of
landing
different
burn
things that
beginning
can
on the
make that.
first stage.
Here we go. Through the clouds.
Again,
Where's the
attempting
drone
to
ship?
land on
Auto orbit insertion.
a shortfall of gravitas
We see the drone ship.
and
on
confirmation
down
of
now.
good orbit on the second
Stage 1,
stage.
landing leg deploy.
Expected
Dude.
loss of signal, Cape.
That's like dead center, man.
Stage 1, landing is confirmed.
And what an incredible view! As you can see, Falcon 9
like
has
dead
touched
center.
down on our drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas. This landing marks the second successful landing for this particular booster, having supported previously the Starlink launch in May. It also marks our 127th overall successful recovery of an orbital class rocket, including both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy first stages. And we also did have confirmation
never gets old, man.
of good orbit on the second stage. So with successful second stage engine cutoff and first stage landing, we are going to be in a until just
Communications
before the
blackout. Hey,
second
Vex.
relight of our
Thanks,
MVAC
man.
engine on the second stage, which will be followed by payload deploy. So sit tight and we'll see you back here just around the T plus 26 minute mark.
It's not close, Yarg. It may be a certain variant of Soyuz, but here, I want to back it up real quick, guys. I want to show you this. So check this out. That thing came in so fast. All right, so Jesse's over there. right? And I wanted to show this camera here real quick. All right, so if this is the first time watching a launch with me, guys, well, thank you. I appreciate you clicking on the video. If you're only here for that, that's cool. But for the people that don't know, I want to show you something here. All right, so look, you got the booster. The booster's on the drone ship. How big is this thing exactly? Okay, you want some relative scale? Look at the sides of the drone ship. You see this little curb right here? And it has a little bit of a railing on it. How big do you think that is? Maybe this big? You know, a couple feet? Maybe like a half meter? Something like that? No, that's just a regular handrail. So those are just regular handrails. Like, that's the type of handrail that you'd have like at waist height. Yeah, they just look small because Falcon 9 is freaking huge. It's a 15-story building. It's 15 stories tall. You can walk in this area underneath it. You can walk clean underneath it. There's about a 2-meter clearance from the nozzles down to the ground. That's how big we're talking here. The drone ships that this thing lands on is about the size of a soccer field or an American football field, either one. They're both very similar in size. How long is a landing leg? Maybe the size of a semi-truck trailer, a small semi-truck trailer. Yeah, so for the uninitiated, man, this thing is a monster. It's freaking huge. You know what the crazy thing is? This isn't even a big rocket compared to like a Saturn V or the space shuttle or something like that. This thing is tiny. It's a tiny little guy. See Charles Farmer's question. How do they land to keep it secure? Well, there's a garage door right there. You can actually see it. See this little thing right there, Charles? That actually folds down, and a freaking tank, an armored vehicle of sorts, drives out of it, and it drives underneath, and it grabs Falcon 9's hold down points, and then sets itself down onto the ground. It has retractable tank treads. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's called Octograbber. I can get you a picture of it if you want. Octograbber. Yeah, it's this big armored vehicle with retractable tank treads on it. Here's a picture of it. Once again, it conveys the scale pretty dang well. Look, so it's got tank treads on it, right? And it drives out, and it's connected to the power on the drone ship, and it drives underneath it, and it has four of these arms right here. These arms have those, see the little yellow pincers right there? They grab onto the bottom of Falcon 9. They grab onto the hold down point. So it's the same thing that holds Falcon 9 to the pad, right? You know that that's a strong spot to grab the booster from because that's where the booster is held to the pad when it launches, right? So this thing just rolls out, it drives underneath it, right? And then the tank treads can actually just go up like this. They retract. So this thing, I mean, if it looks like it's got some chonk to it, well, it does. It's a big counterweight. It's all thick boy steel up in here. So it grabs Falcon 9 and then it retracts the gear and pulls it into the ground so the booster doesn't move around, because they will move around in rough seas. They've had them not only move around, but they had a Falcon 9 fall off the drone ship because the seas were too rough. It actually wasn't a Falcon 9, it was a Falcon Heavy Center Core, which sucks. They used to do that a long time ago, Violent. It landed on 2 legs and it was sliding on the pad. That does happen sometimes, Marcel. Yep. Mm-hmm. I have a great pic for size comparison that you could show. SpaceX pic. Can I share the link, please? Sure, AK. That's fine. Let me get you link perms, dude. So yeah, pretty cool, huh? We're still not out of the woods here yet, though. We should be coming up to second engine start, and we should get up to deploy here momentarily. So the mission is not over yet. Oh. Yeah, AK, that's a good picture. That's a very good picture. What's wrong with being in the woods? Yes. There's a raptor right there, and then they got, yeah. That's a great picture. Can you imagine standing right there in Hawthorne? That'd be pretty cool, right? They landed. It has, well, yeah, she landed. Thomas, get the picture. Do you know when and where the second stage falls down? I don't know where, Toma. It's going to be disposed of. For the fairing ship. Oh, there you go, Geek. I gotta get the picture, dudes. Dude, we got some new Space Jams, man. I heard about that floating, yeah. Hey, AK, check this out, dude. Thank you, Thomas. Here. That picture's pretty cool, huh? What about that one? It's a pretty nice booster. I watched it land. No deorbit on the second stage. Atmosphere will bring it back down in 1 to 5 years. You've seen that one? Right on. Yeah, that's me, Ilya. Mm-hmm. On the left. That's me and Das. That's Hawthorne. Yep. You were just under that booster last week. Really visual. The shiny nozzles, they look strange, don't they? Yeah, fellas, I actually watched 1019 land. I was there. I was down the Cape December 22nd, 2015. I saw that freaking thing come back down and land. It was weird. First stage landings still look weird to me. Oh, it was 6.5 years ago. 6'4", Devious, yeah. Yeah. 6'4", man. And like Das is 6 feet tall. He's not a small dude either. My mom fed me too much macaroni as a kid. I don't know. 6.5, Bouncy, yeah. Goalie, this is the best you ever did? Let me see. That's a great picture. Now, more than that, Hooded, 193. Yeah, I saw it, Far Night. We were playing. Yeah, you want... Devious, you want some scale here. I'll show you. So, here's a Coke can. See what I mean? Played football, man. What do you want? That's what happens when you play sports. You grow. Especially when you play them young. My parents are sports nuts. They made me play. Yeah, freaking Gene. I got them girls. Dude, I can palm the ball, man. Palm the basketball. Played way too much sports as a kid. That's not a bad thing. I like playing sports. It's fun. I wish I still did it. Big feet, Panta, obviously. His hands would have a tough time pressing buttons in a cabin towards space. Yeah. He has a 3D printer. Those are 80% scale. Yep. In that case, how did you turn out to be a rocket nerd? I like rockets. I don't think we've ever had that footage, Question. Les Grossman has big hands. I don't want to dance. Okay, we're coming up on second stage engine start here in a moment, though. Nice, Lucky Charms. There you go. Can I play the yeah noise just one more time? Here, hold on. We're gonna play the whole thing.
2, 1, go! Yeah! Yeah!
Oh my god. That's from a launch from the other day. It was a launch out of Australia, and the commentator was super into it, man. 3, 2, 1, go! It was awesome. An Uber pickup is at work. The crawler's going out to get Artemis 1 off the rack there. That's good. Is that you? That's not me, man. But that ain't nothing I ain't thinking when I'm watching a rocket launch, dude.
Yeah!
Every time, man. Yeah, fly. That's my it's what we know is that it's not EJ. It's EJ's Australian cousin. It's Aussie J. Yep.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Go, baby, go. Yep. Zalifacts, 14-month resub. I was typing and you answered it. Yes. Yeah, passing, that's about right. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again. It's like saying shake and bake out loud in a parking lot. It just fires me up.
Yeah!
What is that, the catchphrase, or is that epilepsy? Shake and bake. Shake and bake. Ow. Yeah. Doxy, let me see. That's a nice picture by John. Damn. How you feeling? Better than yesterday? Marginally? Sound like Terran Academy sound from StarCraft? You want a piece of me, boy? Jacked up, good to go. Rock and roll. Now, could Starship do a drone ship landing, or is it way too big and heavy? It could land on a drone ship, T-Man, but it's designed to go back to the tower. You need a tower to catch it. So unless there was a tower sitting out on the drone ship, I mean, it could land, but you'd probably break something. I mean, being a new homeowner would make me feel better too. Yeah. If I recall, we've had a video on this channel where the screamer was EJ. That's Cosmic. That's why that gentleman is my Australian counterpart, because.
Yeah!
Hey, dude, you can say whatever the hell you want. Watching it here is like, all right, that's cool. When you see that thing go off in real life, it is magical. You're just what just happened? And I guarantee you won't be able to find the words. Yeah, Leglander, we did. We got it. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's go, Lungs. But did he growl at Eddie the Rock? Dude, listen to this countdown.
3, 2, 1, go! Yeah!
Send. Full send. First time I saw an Antares launch, I was yelling so loud I could hear myself in Trevor's video. Yep. 3, 2, 1, go! Are you interested in seeing the orbital launch of Starship? Yes. Yes, I am. Why do you ask, Jen? Let me see, Goalie. What's that? Oh, tower stuff. You need to turn at the left at the fork in the road. What?
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Oh, nice. Fork in the road. I don't believe that. Hey, Kyron, gifted a sub to Cerebral. Okay. We have an acquisition of signal through Gabon. Pen's like, I am also quite interested. Yeah, Starship is relevant to my interests. I thought they were converting an oil rig platform to Starship. That project is on hold right now, Nero, but yes, they are. My satisfactory workbench just entered the Matrix. You broke it! I'd rather stay home than see the orbital test flight. Well, Ian, here's the thing. Like, it's a little bit of a quandary, isn't it? Because if they have onboard views from Starship in space, you won't be able to see that if you're there covering the launch. That would be really cool to stream. That'd be really cool for the stream to see that for the first time. I'd really like to enjoy that moment with chat. I'll be honest with you. But also, I really want to see the launch in person. It's true. Hey, Ren, what's going on? Unless you take a laptop. Okay, guys, I got a plan. Let's buy a news van, and we'll make that into a streaming... Oh, wait, someone... No, wait. No, someone's doing that already. No, my buddy Tim is doing that, which is pretty cool. I like it. I think it's sweet. It's got a V10 in it. It's a Ford. It's pretty rad. I'd rather go to Hawaii for the re-entry. Okay, check that out. They're chilling down the engine here. They're reintroducing commodities. So propellants, liquid oxidizer in the form of liquid oxygen here, and liquid fuel back into the engine. They're particularly chilling down the liquid oxygen. What that's doing right there, what that chill down was doing, is basically priming the engine again. Now, why? Wasn't there fuel in it from when they just launched it into space a second ago? Well, yeah, but they purge the engine out every time. They throw helium into the engine, because you don't want to leave the liquid oxygen inside of the plumbing in the engine for any long period of time, only when it's flowing. The reason why, because standing liquid oxygen inside of the motor, well, rusts things badly. Yeah. Oxygen, wait for it, it oxidizes things. So they void out and they reintroduce the propellants.
5:04 p.m. Eastern Time from Launch Pad 40.
Yeah, I know, Carmen. There you go.
Space Force Station. Now, post liftoff, we also
That's
had
a good idea, Thomas.
main
Yep.
engine cutoff,
Should do
stage
that.
separation, ignition, and shutdown of the second
All right,
stage.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna
fairing
let Jesse
deploy
talk.
and first stage landing. Now, coming up shortly, we will relight and shut down the second stage engine one more time before payload deploy. That is coming up here in just a few seconds. And this burn will be about a minute long.
See all the solid oxygen that's coming off there? Because when you vent gas into a vacuum, it solidifies.
MVAC startup.
There we go. Oh, some of it hit the nozzle and got wrecked.
And
oh, there it goes again.
View
Bye-bye.
of that MVAC engine reigniting. This burn will last a little over a minute. And as a reminder, SES-22 will deliver TV and radio services in addition to key data transmission services to millions of Americans across the U.S.
It sucks. That's right. It sucks.
This MVAC engine has a thrust of about 220,000 pounds of thrust.
About 1,000 kilonewtons.
And reigniting the engine helps take the stage closer to its drop-off orbit. So we'll reignite it and then shut it down and allow the second stage to coast for a bit until it gets to its targeted drop-off orbit.
This is a big insertion here. Look at the speed. Speed's going up real high. How many rocket launches do we spend all the N2 from the atmosphere?
MVAC shutdown.
That's not happening anytime soon, Boxy.
There we heard that call out and
Geo
saw
yard,
a little
yep.
bit of the MVAC engine
3,400.
shutting down. We are waiting for confirmation.
3,400 at
Orbit
Seco.
insertion.
You got an NOI
That's exactly
from the flight
what we were
controller?
waiting for. Confirmation of good orbit.
It's Geo.
So with confirmation of a successful second stage engine start and cutoff, we're going to take another quick short break. Sit back and enjoy the space tunes, and we'll join you live to cover payload deployment in about 4 minutes from now.
Slight out, Ian. It's very slight. It wasn't a lot, but it was out. They went radial out on the first stage as well. Because when they launched, I noticed right before staging, Falcon 9, like it was going this way and it did a pitch down for separation. So they went radial out. So it was a lot of performance from the first stage. Kind of similar to Similar to Starlink on the first stage trajectory, from what I could tell. I'd have to go look at it again. Space Tunes! There's the satellite right there. This smooth part is the payload attachment fitting. It's basically just a metal tube that the satellite sits on. And they'll separate it by undoing a couple of clamps, and then they have springs inside of that tube, and the springs will just boop, it'll pop the satellite right off. Yeah, actually, here's a pretty gnarly picture. Gnarly bunch of pictures there. There's the satellite right there. That camera that we're looking through is mounted on this trash bag looking part, looking up. That's it inside of the fairing, and then there's your clamps right there that hold this thing. I think those are the clamps. Give him the clamps. Francis X. Clampazzo, give him the clamps. Right there, and then there's springs inside of here, and it just pops the satellite right off of the attachment fitting. This right here, this part, is called the PAF, payload attach fitting. Actually, that's the payload adapter. This is the payload attachment fitting right there, if you really want to be technical. But that's the payload. There's the fairing. Note that the fairing has compressed nitrogen in it. Nitrogen gas. There's COPV bottles on the fairing there. That's for separating the fairing first and foremost, and then for steering the fairing back down to land. There's also a parachute in there, you can see it behind, because the fairing has a parafoil and it'll come back down. Yeah, the flag's pretty good too. This satellite is huge. Yeah, you guys keep in mind, the fairing right there, you could fit a school bus inside of that fairing, or like just a regular old Greyhound bus, or Jesse's had a fire truck. You can fit a lot in there. That is a
signal. Hard to be suck.
Cool. They have a reacquisition of signal. This satellite is big. It's about the size of a Mack truck. There they are venting down the engine right there. They're purging it out with more helium. What's up, FX? Floating. I only saw it because you replied to him. Hi, I have a question about space, sorta. Hit me, dude. What do you want to know? I'm not an expert by any means, but I've landed on an idea or a theory, and I want to learn how to test it. Okay? If you're about to rickroll me, FX, I swear. I swear. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Hey, props go. 4-month resub. Do you think we'll ever get to where the second stage is recoverable? Yeah. God damn it, Blue. Yeah, of course we'll get to where the second stage is recoverable, Shadow Man. What do you think that is? That's just a recoverable second stage. That's all it is. I had a random thought last night. What if the reason we see aberrations that seemingly create black matter?
Welcome back to the SES-22 Launch webcast. We've had a successful mission so far, liftoff at 5:04
It's
p.m.
possible,
Eastern
FX.
Time.
I'm not sure.
Successful landing
I don't really
of
know how to
our
answer
first
that one, man, to
stage
be honest with
and
you.
2
Maybe.
relight and shutdowns of our second stage engine. Now we're coming up on our last major milestone, which of course is
I'm probably
payload
not the
deploy.
right guy to ask
and
that
should
question,
be coming
man.
up here in just a few seconds.
All right, watch. You'll see the latch pop over there on the left, and then the sat will just see the latch open.
Payload separation confirmed.
And look, it's got a little baby
You are
engine.
watching the
got a little baby rocket engine in
SES-22
it.
satellite drifting away from Falcon 9's second stage. And that confirms payload deploy.
I was looking more for
with
where I should be looking.
successful deployment of the SES-22 satellite.
Well, if I'm understanding what you're saying right, you probably want to go look at like relativity and how that works, dude. Like look at Einstein's formula. I think I understand what you're saying, but I could be wrong, dude. I could have my head up my tail. I mean, look at me.
Check out spacex.com/careers to check out our open positions. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for commentating, Jesse. Because, you know, she can hear me, right? Jesse? Nope, she's gone. Oh, this is awkward. Man, it's like being in high school all over again. Oh yeah, Mars. Yeah, I'm just a cocky Twitch streamer. You remember that guy? Yeah, he shut up real fast, dude. You remember that? Unbelievable. I'm like, really? Really? Don't insult my craft, you dick. Not you, not you. Yeah, FX, start looking at like general relativity and stuff, you know? Yeah, what you're talking about is like getting into some weird theoretical physics and whatnot. My question is, what if pi and phi have a digit count? I think, wasn't it mathematically proven that pi has no theoretical digit, Max? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't know the implications of that, dude, to be honest with you. Hey, T-Dave, what's up, man? 39-month resub. SLS in July or August? It's late August, September. They're targeting August 23rd through September 6th for nominal launch window right now. Could be any time in between there. It really depends on daylight recovery conditions when the capsule comes back down. Believe it or not, that's what they're aiming for. And also, a big one, Dave, is that the moon needs to be in the right place. Yeah, you got to make sure that the moon is your launch. When you launch, you're pointing, the moon is there. You don't want it to not be there, because then you're just going to keep going and you're not coming back. Hey, Atlantic. 6-month resub. I mean, FX, I don't know about you, dude. I don't know about you, man, but, you know, you're out like blazing one, right? And you have these crazy thoughts. You're like, dude, you... Like, not crazy thoughts, right? Like, go and start digging into it, man. Dude, it's like candy. You think this stuff's good? Physics and stuff. Reading about how physics works, that's like candy for your brain, man. That's my drug of choice, dude. Math. Math. Not even once. No, more than once. It's fine. Just don't make a habit out of it, okay? What if the correct answers to these bodily movements is that we are supposed to truncate them in a certain place? I don't know, man. Go get into theoretical physics. Get into theoretical physics and figure something out, man. Today we're going to learn something new today. It's called math. Without it, none of us would exist. Pi is more accurate at 13 or 61 places, for example. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Sorry, man. No, I don't mean to dump on you. I don't mean to dump. That's your thought in a nutshell. All right. Well, I mean, start looking at relativity and theoretical physics, dude. Like, I think that's probably would be a good place to start. Yeah, dude. There's plenty of people working on many dissertations trying to figure out stuff like that, dude. Go dive in. Nothing wrong with using this muscle up here. Especially trying to figure out cool stuff like that. Yeah, there you go. Dude, I had this thought and I wanted to try it. Yeah, no, go see. There's many resources on the internet, dude. I'm sure you can find something. Start with physics. Start with, like, theoretical physics and stuff. And relativity, too. Yeah, go look at Einstein's stuff, man. Now, dude, you want some wild stuff? That's some wild stuff. How gravity manipulates space-time. That's weird, man. That always hurts my brain a little bit. Anyway. All right. So that was the SES launch, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's, okay, it's 6 o'clock here. You don't need to. So FX, all the STEM streamers, we all know each other. You could, Neuro, just post the Put Horizon Size link in here. I don't care. You can say it in chat. FX, I don't care. I appreciate the respect, but I don't care nothing about that. As long as it's another STEM streamer, I don't care. Did I miss the launch? Yeah, whoever it launched, perfect landing, perfect insertion. We got it all the way to satellite separation. It was really cool, man. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm recovering from the Ronies. Your boy had the Ronies coming back from New Mexico's. I'm trying not to talk as much, so I might not do a space news today because that's a lot of talking. I think I'm going to jump back into the wipe for Tarkov for a little while, if you guys don't mind. Can you explain the mega base stuff? I don't understand how the exterior beams help with the structure. It's called a flying buttress. It's called a flying buttress, Violent. It's basically an external support. Look at the supports. They have a diagonal that's connecting down to another diagonal below them. So they look like this, right? Actually, it ends up looking, yeah, it looks up something like that. It goes out, diagonal, out, diagonal, out, diagonal. That is connected down into the next segment, and that keeps the building from doing this. How is everything? Everything's good, Ismail. How about you? Long time no see. Go rest. You deserve it. Nah. I didn't stream a lot yesterday. I got to make up some time for the VOD viewers. See you last. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys. You all rock. I know I'm some weirdo to tracking down a real random answer. FX, if someone's going to be cool with me, I'm going to be cool with them. It's the people that come in here and say, no, you don't like my scientific idea. Frick you. You're an idiot. Like, that's I'm just like, all right, get the hell out of here, man. No, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. What games do you play? Kerbal. Kerbal. I can teach people about rockets, dude. That's my domain. My domain is if you want to know about rockets, how they work, what they do. It's basically a compressed flamethrower. Yeah, that's what those things do. It's just make an explosion and shoot it out a funnel. Like, you want to know about rockets? I deal with more practical physics because rockets exist, practical stuff.
Discovery, go and throttle.
Like what you just saw, pretty pure Newtonian physics right there. But I play all kinds of stuff. All kinds of STEM games, dude. But I do play Tarkov, which is what I'm playing right now, which is not very STEM. Not very STEM. Path of Exile gamer? Hell yeah, man. All right, right on, dude. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you want to nerd out about some physics stuff, dude? I got you in here. That's my domain. But yeah, the real crazy like theoretical stuff, like that's something I'm not the right guy to ask. My buddy Horizon Sai is what's Horizon? Yeah. Neuropilot linked it in chat. Horizon Sai. He is a physics professor at a university. He'll probably be able to answer your question. Yeah. I deal with general rocketry, and I'm not an